All right, you're live.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the mobile app coaching. My name is Glenn, senior stock market strategist for VectorVest, and it's the last trading day of the week, and the market looking like poopy, but now it's turning back around. That's what we've been having going on. Looking at the VectorVest composite in a level of a channel, just going back and forth and back and forth. By the way, if everyone can hear me, let me know in the chat. Preferably type VV Nation in the chat. Let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. Interesting. Everything, there it is. The alert just hit, so let's just see a whole lot of people pop in. Everything was down this morning. Scrolling down, I'm looking at the colors of the red compared to the colors of the yellow. We've got more red. So as you guys know, I try to make it a little simple in regards to what to do with your portfolio by way of the color guard. We've got definitely more reds than we have yellows. 3, 6, 9, 10 reds, 4, 5, 6 yellows, 2 greens. Okay. With more red, so a question comes up that says, is it time to sell? Right now, it's time to be more defensive in your portfolio. Does that mean go sell your stocks? I mean, and Amir says, hello, Uncle Glenn, is it time to get out of the market? My thing is, right now, your stop should have already gotten tightened when we had all of the yellow, all right? When we had all the cautious. Now, sorry, my mic is jacked up a little bit. Now, we've got a lot more red. And then the guidance, if you follow the guidance, VectorVest does not advocate buying any stocks at this time. The guidance is there on a daily basis. Looking at the market timing graph, which we will do in a second, I know that the market's in a channel, but I'm looking at, the primary wave is down. The underlying trend in the market is down by way of the MTI. The buy to sell ratio is down, which means that I've got more stocks that are sell recommended than I have buy recommendations. Niles says, took half off, great idea. So let me start off by answering the question, is it time to get out of the market? I'm down 20K in Nvidia. Wow. Travel. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let's go to the VVC. What's the market doing? Market's in the channel. Looking at this level of resistance, dang it, and this level of support, and another little channel in between. All right? I'm not ready to look at stocks yet. I'm not ready to look at stocks. You buy when everyone is bearish. No, so they say you buy when there's blood in the streets. That is an aggressive way. So when everyone is bearish, you go buy. But you know me, Akshaya, I'm not going off of a lot of stuff that's being said. I want the stocks to come to me. And that's the huge thing about any play that I play. So, people feeling a little bit more bearish, people feeling this way, that way, or another thing. Before I go pull the trigger on the trade, I am definitely going to make sure that the stock is coming to me. Great game at Rickville Field last night. Special tribute to Willie Mays. Anyone watch? Listen, I saw what Reggie Jackson said, sitting up there with Alex. Man, that was like, wow, mind blown. In this day and age of baseball, my mind got blown by what Reggie did. Reggie was like, he put it out there. It was like, wow. All right, so I just wanted to answer that, San Francisco. So looking at more red in there than we've got more yellow. Markets in sideways mode. I'm hearing about Nvidia. I am looking at my Nvidia trade, and I'm looking at it in the star search. Interesting about Nvidia, it is down, but look at the open candle. It means the stock is rebounding from the push down this morning. See that open candle on today's candle? The stock is rebounding from the move down. Now, Alfreda says Nvidia always comes back because a lot of that has to do, Alfreda, is with the CI on the stock. Look at that CI at 1.81. That's why that indicator is so important. Bigramjet says I'm 50K down in Nvidia top, but it will come back. Nvidia is a darling stock. So, you know, I look at the earnings on the stock. I look at the graph on the stock. I like the stock, but you all know that no matter how good a stock is, what goes up must come down. The saving grace for today is the open candle and trading at the upper edge or the top of the candle today. So that could be a saving grace. The 3, the 8, and the 20 are all in place. They're all still intact, even on the pullback. So do I tell you to panic? No. How I will manage my NVDL trade is I want to see close to the end of the trading day, is it in the middle lane from the star search? Now, I can't do star search here. I can't do star search in the mobile app. But you know something, I get to talk more and more about the new version of the VectorVest software, which is going to be web-based, that I should be able to access the same stuff on the internet the same way I can on the desktop. So on a mobile to a desktop, they should look exactly alike. I'm waiting for that. I think that we're going through the process of testing it here. I know we've got an advanced version of it. It's not all fully operational, but we're able to mess around and work through it. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that it is a web-based program. All right, so when I look at Nvidia, am I going to tell you to panic? No. If I'm on the mobile app, knowing that I cannot use the star search, I am looking at the 3, the 8, and the 20. I think that's a great way to get in and out of the stock. The 3 is not crossing below the 8. All right? The 3 is not crossing below the 8. The 3 is that teal line. The 8 is the dark blue line. It's still intact. It's still intact. Now, for anybody who's like wondering, well, what do I do? What do I do? Well, from the mobile app, I will look at the 3 crossing below the 8 as a means. Remember, I'm trying to be defensive right now, as a means to get out of the stock. Again, I'm looking at my NVDL right now as the purpose of looking at the star search to see if it closes or gets close to closing into the middle lane before I pull the trigger. So there's Nvidia. Someone said Google. Someone said SMCI. Let's go take a look at that real quick. SMCI. Let's go look at that. Google and Amazon. So NVDL, I sold 90 shares of Google at $180 and bought 150 shares of NVDL with $71. I will sell 150 shares of NVDL at 82 and buy 90 shares of Google. Man, that's a lot of moving back and forth. But look at SMCI, a little different. SMCI has been beaten down. All right, if you look at it on a 3-month graph going back, that's a 1-year graph when the stock was rocking and rolling back here. When the stock was rocking and rolling, pulled back, you notice that from the high on the 1-year graph, look at the draw trend line. Draw trend line. It just recently went above the trend line going down. It's been beaten up. But right here is a level of resistance that it's having a hard time getting past. But if I look from this level of the low, I do have higher lows trending higher up to this level of resistance. I would keep my eye on it. I'm not full bloor blasting off with SMCI. I know a lot of you are trading SMCI. I've told you a long time ago how to trade and get out of it. I have. All right, so that's SMCI. Let's go look at Amazon. AMZN. Let's look at it. That looks a little bit better. Actually, it looks a lot better than SMCI. Definitely moving higher on a 1-year graph, looking at the CI there at 1.45. Look at the earnings. Look at the stock's price. I'd like to see it get above this level of resistance. I'd like to see it get above that level of resistance, and it's moving. The 3, the 8, and the 20 are all in play. If I'm not in it, I'm looking to get above that level of resistance before I take a position. Alarm. So I've got some people talking to me about Alarm, that they lost money in Alarm. I don't understand that. When we first started talking about Alarm, unless you held it through all of this. Look at the comfort index though, 1.69. That's probably going to change with the big movement down. But even look at that. That's why CI is so important. Look at the big movement down for 1, 2, 3, 4 days and look at the rebound. Now, the 3, the 8, and the 20 are not all in play. But you know something, even looking at it from a mobile perspective, when did the 3 go below the 8? Technically right about there, a couple of days ago, right? Dang it. I want to let me click right on. There it is. It was on 6/17. That was probably a good day to get out of it prior to the big drop the next day. Now, Pennywise says alarm had dropped because a Lithuanian competitor emerged. Even with that being said, I think the 6/17 would have saved you from the big drop a couple of days ago. Akshaya says, Glenn, when someone says they are 50,000 down, did they buy at the top? Isn't VectorVest saying it's overextended? Listen, that the market's overextended? I got nothing that says we're at a top. And even looking at the sideways move on the VectorVest composite, we're not looking for a bottom, nor are we looking for a top. Now, are some stocks, a lot of stocks overbought? Yes. But when you say overextended, I'm looking at overextended as a way of saying that the market is at a top. We're nowhere near a market top. We haven't been. Our indicators haven't gotten us to the level where we look at the MTI showing us that we're at a market top. And even with the rebound we had, we never got back to the levels of where the market was being overbought. So, Glenn, does Amazon have a direct ETF? You talk about Nvidia. Even with Nvidia, you talk about over at any point in time, you put RSI or you put any indicator that's on there, this stock has been overextended for a while. Not just now. It's been overextended for a while. But why does the stock keep going up? Because of the hype on AI. There you go. Somebody says AMZU. Thank you, Pennywise. Because of the hype on AI. Do you know, Akshaya, a lot of stocks will tell you that they're overextended right now, especially if they're in the AI space. And if you stay out of them, that's fine. But these stocks are still killing it, even being in an overextended space. So whether it's Nvidia, whether it's AMD, whether it's Apple, whether it's Microsoft, whether it's any of that stuff, a lot of that stuff is overextended because people are putting so much money into those stocks because they're rocking. So they're going to come up with two different things. They're going to be overvalued and they're going to be overextended. All right? Both of those. It's going to be both of those things. And you know something? If it's overextended and you're not feeling that and you're not, then don't buy it. Right? Don't buy it. But when you've got so much hype and so much momentum behind AI, these stocks, no matter what indicator you put on it says it's overextended, they're going to keep running, which is a reason why I'm not a big fan of paying attention a lot of times to stocks that are overextended. I like my moving averages that I have because they can say if they're overextended, but if my 3 and 8s, which is a fast indicator, if they're still in play, I'm fine. It can still show me that the stocks are overextended, but I think the 3 and 8, and even with Nvidia, all of this time, over the last 3 months, this stock has been running and running and running. And Akshay, I think if you look at a graph, you'll see that it's been overextended for a while, not just now, right? All right. AI hype moving closer to 2000. Oh, no. So I've been seeing a lot of stories about that, Prakash, about maybe that this is a .net, that this is a bubble. I think that outside of the .net, where it was a new idea and it was, just the play of the day, AI is being so absorbed into our lives that I think that AI is still at its infancy. All right. Lisa says, how important is the 200-day weighted moving average in our stocks as a reference of areas of resistance where I often hear key for traders? Are we able to put the MACD lines on a trend graph? So Lisa, people look for crosses on the 50 and 200, the golden cross and the death cross. Can I put the 50 and 200-day moving averages on a mobile graph? Absolutely. Those are for longer term trends. Just think of the number 200. The 200-day moving average, it takes a lot, and you got a 50 and a 200 cross. That's a golden cross. But in order to get a down call on that, the 50 crossing below the 200 takes a whole lot of time to happen. A whole lot of time, because the moving averages are so big. So I am at the point where I look at 50 and 200 on my way longer term stocks, longer term praise. Because if I'm in those stocks for the long term and the 50 goes below the 200, I know something is not right with that longer term play. Does that make sense? Hopefully that does. Is there a hype indicator in VectorVest? I don't think I have a hype indicator. I got to think about that a little bit. Mate, I don't think I got a hype indicator. AI isn't overextended, though. It definitely getting exhausting in terms of it being in your face all the time, and the instant benefits just aren't there yet, but give it time. I still think that AI is at the beginning phases of what's going on. Rolls-Royce, RCY, let's do it this way. I forget the name. Rolls. There we go. RYCEY. And then I'm going to look at CLS next. Wow. Rolls-Royce just looks like it's killing it. Momentum indicator, I've got an RT for momentum, but I don't call it hype. I don't call it hype. You know, when I look at momentum, I'm looking at stocks in an uptrend or not in an uptrend. I won't call it, I won't call it a hype. I won't call it a hype. But there, at least it got good. There's Rolls-Royce. There's not much bad I can say about it. Stock's still moving. Stock is killing it. I want to look at CLS. The stock is, there's nothing bad I can say about Rolls-Royce. CLS. Let's go take a look. Another stock that's killing it. Rising earnings. Now, I look at the 3D8 coming off this level of resistance. Folks, do you guys agree with the idea of looking at, oh gosh, no, I'm gonna back up. I'm not gonna ask that question yet. Idea of knowing when to get out of a stock. There's a level of resistance. Where did the 3.8 cross? Right there. Bounce off that level of support. The 3.8 went back up. What's going on with the 3.8 right now? About to cross again. I keep pushing the point that no matter what stock you're in, you've got to have some semblance of when you're going to get out, when you're going to take profits. And I think that a lot of you just say, well, Glenn said go buy the stock. I'm just going to hold it forever and ever. Don't do that. Don't do that. You got to have stops in place. You got to have stops in place. I like what CLS does for Western militaries. CLS is a good stock. All right. Right at a level of resistance right now. But watch as it's pulling back off that level of resistance. Look at that level of the 3 and the 8s. All right. Alarm isn't just a stock, it's an adventure. I like Alarm. And again, I brought it to you guys a while ago, but I also always walk you through possibilities and when to get out of it. When the stock price is way more than its value, U12, what are you saying? I'm trying to look through all of the chat. Is Nvidia the potential pain trade this summer? No, I don't think that it's a pain trade. I think that it's a factual trade. If the stock is hitting your stops, get out of it. And we sit back and we go, well, no, the stock is going to come back. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that whole idea of it's going to come back while I'm taking a hit. And CLS did have a double top. I don't care how good the stock is. Even in my Nvidia trade, I'm not trying to take no pain. I'm up in excess of 20% on the trade. Yeah. How about I'm not letting more than half of that go away at all? So I don't think it becomes a pain trade. I think that if you've been up on Nvidia, there's no reason why you should not close out with a win. With a win. All right. That's the way I look at it. So I'm not looking at it as a pain trade at all. At all. AVGO, after earnings, stock went up. I gave a prognostication of earnings move. It moved. I'm watching the stock retrace. I'm watching the 3 and the 8. I'm also watching on this candle right here. Look at that. I'm going to look at the low on that candle on 613 because that's where the stock is going to start to fade the gap. All right. But I also have on this candle right here a dark cloud cover. That's a candlestick formation that's saying something. It's saying, ooh, I might have a turnaround on the stock. Glenn, when is the new web-based VV up and running? I don't know. I know that we are testing it. I know here we are testing it. A double top, Sabia, means that a stock has hit a level of resistance twice. That's a double top. That makes that level of resistance stronger. I think TSM will continue to dominate over time. Again, it's in that space, semiconductors, AI. I'll take a look at that real quick. So AVGO, as I look at it, I see some red flags. I see a dark cloud cover there. I see follow through the next day. And now I got a little bit of indecision. I wouldn't be afraid to take half off the table if I'm in it. All right. So let's go look at TSM real quick. TSM. And another stock. Look, all these graphs look a lot alike. A lot of these stocks look a lot alike. So what is the purpose? The purpose is to make sure that you don't give all this wind back. And I think that you guys need to understand that you got to have stops in place. Again, no matter how good the stock looks, you got to have stops in place. I like from the mobile app, looking at the 3 and the 8. I think it's a great way to get out. I think that's a great way to get out. All right. So I know you guys have been asking me about stocks. And the thing is, I want you to know that it's important that I try to help you in the sense of managing the stocks that you're in right now. I don't want anybody to panic sell, but I also want you to understand that by looking at the VectorVest system, looking at the homepage, looking at the colors in the color guard, this is a time to be more defensive. Defensive means take some of these wins off the table. Defensive means put covered calls on some of the stocks that you want to hold long term. Defensive means putting a collar where you sell a call and buy a put on an index like the spiders. All right. So that's what I'm looking for. One last stock, because I got stuff I got to cover. DELL. We'll go look at Dell. Let's go look at a lot of that. Now, interesting about Dell, look at the gap down to this level of support. Noticing that the stock is the 3, the 8, and the 20 are all in play. And we're fading the gap to the upside. But keeping in mind what's going on in the market, I do have on the bottom that the MACD just went positive off of this nice move off the level of support. I'd like to see more fadation of the gap. But do I like the play? I like the play because of the momentum was going on in the tech stocks. But let's do this. Let's go back to the, I don't want to do that. Let's go back to the VVC. I don't want you guys to sleep on this. What's the market doing? All right. What's the market doing? Let's go put this on a 3-month graph. We're in a channel. So which means that we're just going to keep getting up and down, up and down, up and down. Tabula says it's time for our stock picks. Tabula, I've been giving you stock picks right now without even doing the stuff that I normally do. I've been giving you your stock picks. I took a little different path today. I started looking at stock picks. Tabula, don't start. I've been giving stock picks right here. So don't let's go me. Don't do that. I've been giving, and I haven't even checked the likes. I've given more stock picks than the like. So Tabula, you sit and I got this. All right. Normally, I only look at X amount of stocks based on your likes. I threw that out the window. All right. Unless now you just want me to just stick to, and I won't look at any more stocks. I'll just stick to my plan that I had for the day. All right. I'm just saying. All right. So by way of paying attention to what's going on in the market, by way of looking at the color guard, defensive is the key word. Now, defense doesn't mean panic. All right. Keep that in mind. Be calm, cool, and collective. If you're in your stocks on the mobile app, look at the 3 and the 8. If you are looking at stocks and you're looking at the desktop version of the stock, I love looking at the Star Search. I think it's a great way to manage any trade that I have. It's a great way to manage any trade that I have. Defensive can be defensive, but also utilities and consumables. You know something? If I'm going to take any utility stock, it's got to pay a dividend. It's gonna have to pay a dividend. I did ask, hold off, please don't start spamming, Prakash. I saw it the first time. I will get to those. Just give me some time. All right. I looked at a lot of stocks outside of what I normally do. All right. So, see, you ever heard the saying, you give somebody an inch and they take a mile? That is what y'all are doing. Just, I got you. I got some stuff that I got to cover. I do have some stuff I got to cover. All right. So we looked at the market overview. We looked at some of your stocks, especially the stocks that you may be concerned about. Hopefully I've given you some insight. And that's why, again, I went this direction today, because a lot of people are looking at the market. A lot of people are looking at their stocks. A lot of people are wondering what to do. That's why I wanted to take a look at, in the beginning, a lot of your stocks that you may have concerns about. All right. Let's go to my watch list, because I think that's still, I know Real Tech Geek. I think a big thing that, if you're brand new to this or not, is the power of watch lists in the mobile app. All right. The power of watch lists in the mobile app. I don't have any companies in the green anymore. Must be time to walk away from the computer and enjoy summer. Nothing wrong with that. You know, people always say sell in May and go away. I don't think that this is that kind of year. I don't think that this is that kind of sell in May, go away year. Anybody agree with me on that? I don't think that this is a sell in May and go away year. Type of 1 if you agree. Type of 2 if you want to sell and go away and enjoy the summer. I'm just curious. I just think that there's too much going on with interest rates, with inflation, with cuts, with stocks, with industries. I don't think that this is a sell in May and go away year. I just don't think so. But, you know, listen, I'm all about enjoying the summer too. Believe you me. Believe you me. I chose not to go on a missions trip this year back to Guatemala. Because I just think that this summer going into the election, yeah, that's right, Real Tech, going into the election, is just going to be too hot for me to go away for a week. It would have been a week or two. So, and Prakash says, selling May and go away days are gone. I don't know if it's totally gone. I think that we got a lot going on this year. I think that there's a lot going on this year. All right. So we're going to look at some of the watch lists that I have. I created a new one called Mobile Big News Stocks. And you know, every Friday now when I do these sessions, I want to see what stocks are moving in the market and why. Sarepta Therapeutics is up like 33% because they got FDA approval on something called Duchenne. I don't know enough about it, but it's a big move for Sarepta. Nvidia, because a lot of people are panicking about it, so I wanted to put that on the watch list. Palo Alto got upgraded. Someone says that Palo Alto is going to have the opportunity to go up 20%, like in the next quarter. I might have to do a story on that. WMB is a pipeline, a natural gas pipeline. Check that out. I want you guys to keep your eyes on that. WMB, it's down about 0.25% today, but I saw the news on it and it caught my attention. You do know that Russia now becomes the biggest producer to the UK for natural gas. I don't know how that happened when we were. I'm not getting into that. I do have a position in oil. Oil is on the rise. Again, I only have a $90 price target on oil. We'll see how that works out, but I am in it. I'm down, as you can see, about 1%. And Palantir, I'm in that stock too. Just got downgraded by 2 institutions. That's not going to bode well for Palantir. So I am looking at stocks that made the news. That's my top watch list in here. But I want you guys to get acclimated to utilizing watch lists, especially in the mobile app. I think that's going to be your biggest ally. Building stocks, watch lists on stocks, especially on the stocks that you own, so you can see what's going on with them. I also want you to build watch lists on a daily basis on stocks that are making the news. Keep your eyes on them. Keep your eyes on them. You notice that these are all sorted by VST. Out of these stocks, only one stock, Palantir, has a VST below 1. All the other ones have a VST above 1. And, you know, on a day like I'm looking at SRPT, big move today. Do I jump on board with that? Nah, that's news driven. With a lot of give back on today's candle. All right, with a lot of give back on today's candle. I don't touch that. I'm like MC Hammer. You can't touch this. All right. So that's news driven. What else is in here? Let's Nvidia. Again, I talked about that. Palo Alto, again, it's got a couple of upgrades. This is interesting. I want you to keep your eyes on this stock. This is a pipeline company for natural gas. Do some work, do some research on it. Love the equity curve over the last year. Love the equity curve over the last 3 months. Do some research on this. I do like that trade. Oil on the rise, down day to day. I'm okay with that. I do have a level of support sitting right here. If it breaks below that, and I just think that on paper, oil's just got to go up. Oil's just got to go up. And Palantir's getting beat up. I've got my eye on that. I was up like 20 some odd % on Palantir. I'm not going to give that all back. I'm going to gauge today what happens before I pull the trigger and get out. Again, nothing that I ever do is panic sell. I will buy Palantir when it drops. They have a lot of government contracts, Seth, which is why I'm so big and have been on Palantir. They've got contracts globally. All right, speaking of summer, I got major sunburn yesterday. The best part, my bum got burnt, so that means I was running around the yard and, oh yeah. Let me tell you something. I had to find out the hard way. It was a lot of years ago. I was in the Marine Corps, and I was at the beach, and I was like, I'm not going to burn. And I fell asleep for a few hours under the sun. Woke up and was like, wow, African-American people can burn. I really didn't know. I really didn't know. And I found out. Now, my skin hurt, but no peeling, no blistering, no nothing. But it was hurtful. It was hurtful. I didn't know. Believe you me, I really didn't know. And I was still young and stupid. And then I got older and wiser and realized that we can burn. All right. So I'm just saying, I laugh at it now. I wasn't laughing then. But I laugh at it now. You know, I felt that I was invincible to that just because I had darker skin. And that don't work all the way. So I just put that out there since you wanted to talk about getting sunburned, Jazz. Palantir is a software version of Nvidia. I think Palantir is a lot more than that, you know, because you got Snow, you got other companies that are out there like Palantir and Snow. All right. I think Palantir is a much better play than Snow long term because, again, Palantir, once all of these contracts that they have turn into real solid money, ooh-wee, you know, real Tech Geek says melanin only goes so far. Yep. Again, it took me a minute. To realize that. All right. So those are the stocks that made my watch list today, my news watch list today. Again, I am big on this WMB. I need to probably do a video on it. Eugene, I used to wear 2 watches. This is bracelets. This is my watch. I used to wear 2 watches. I've been a salesman for a lot of my life, and it was an icebreaker for me. People would say, why are you wearing 2 watches? And I would say something along the lines of, I never have enough time. So I used to wear 2 watches as a salesman to break the ice and get the conversation going. So I don't wear 2 watches anymore. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've worn 2 watches, but I did at one time. Where's my cross? It's around my neck. I got my cross. Believe you me, that don't go nowhere. I got my cross. Glenn, you're getting ready to go into Contras. Yeah, I think that is one place I do want to go today. And the reason why I want to go into Contras is I want to see what they're doing. I want to see ABC, CCCC, commodities. Oh, man. ETFs, dividend ETFs. Where do I have those? Credit cards, copper. That makes me sad. All right, fine. Let's do it this way. Stock pick ideas. Contras is something I want to keep my eyes on right now. Contras is something I want to keep my eyes on right now because, premium watch list, because I want to see if they're starting to move. Indexed ETFs, contra ETFs. All right, so I went and I'm looking. I want to see, and this is important. People are going to be asking the question, is it time to go into Contras? Well, these Contras that I'm looking at as far as this watch list is sorted by RT, right? Any of these Contras have RTs above 1? Yes or no? Do any of these Contras have RTs above 1? Yes or no? Type it in the room. And this, I think, along with looking at the color guard, right, to gauge whether you need to be cautious or defensive. If I'm really getting the defensive and I'm thinking about Contras, I want to make sure that Contras, before I get into it, that they have RTs above 1. Now, I've got 2 Contras, TWM and RWM, both on the Russell, that have RTs right at 0.99. If I'm really thinking that the market is falling and be Chicken Little, let's make sure that the Contras have an RT above 1. Let's make sure that the Contras are showing me that they're in an uptrend. They're still not showing me that yet. So that helps to really keep in mind that we're trying to be more defensive rather than just jumping to the downside of the market. Now, you're in SRTY and you're up. That's fine. Actually, let's go look at all of these graphs. All right, let's go look at all of these graphs. Put them on 3-month graph. Am I ready to take RWM yet? Ooh, let's go see if we can get above that level of resistance first. How about TWM? Let's see if we can get above. Now, keep in mind, none of these ETFs, none of these Contras have RTs above 1. Look at these big wicks on today's candle. You're in SRTY. Excuse me. Well, look at the wick. Look at the indecision on today's candle, Jazz. You may be up, and that's fine. You know, could it be early for them? Jazz, I think so. I don't think we're ready to jump onto the contra bandwagon yet. All right? But when I keep these in mind, here, look at this. There's I'm not ready yet, Jazz. I'm not ready yet. Man, SH short on the S&P 500. You know, none of these 3 and 8s have crossed either. PSQ. Whew. I'm looking, you know, all these that have been beaten up, I'm definitely looking for the 3 and 8s to cross. That will help to back up the idea if it's time to be in Contras to play the market to the downside. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes or no? Because I think a lot of you are thinking that, well, if the market's going down, market's side, I'm ready to go jump into Contras. Hopefully this backs up the idea that we're not quite ready for Contras, but I'm keeping my eyes on them. Does that make sense to everybody in the room? Does that make sense to everybody in the room? I may not be buying them yet, but I'm keeping my eyes on them because as soon as I can get an RT above 1, as soon as I can get the 3 to go above the 8, then I know that the market is really heading down and these Contras are making money. All I'm saying, folks, don't jump the gun, especially in a market that's in a channel. Don't jump the gun, especially on a market that's in the channel. Channel means that it's just moving sideways. It needs to break out of its own way, one to the upside to the downside. I'm not comfortable in my knowledge yet with options, puts and calls. This worries me a bit in terms of being defensive. No, it shouldn't, Lisa. Don't let it. So even if you're not playing options, Remember I said, even in the mobile app, look at the 3 and the 8. I think that's a quick enough way to get out of a stock when the 3 goes below the 8. That's being defensive and closing that position. What's the ETF short for SPY? We're looking at it. SPXU? That should be one, right? We're looking at it. That's on the Qs, microsectors. I think that was one we were looking at. SPXU. Is there another one? SDS. I don't know how leveraged they are. SH. Probably they're 1, 2, and 3 leverage. I think that's probably what we're looking at. All right. So there you go, Energy. How you doing, Energy? All right. Janice says, yep. All right. So I just want you guys, I know a lot of you are thinking that, well, defensive. Glenn says to be defensive. I don't want to short stocks. I don't play options. Let me get in these contras. I'm not ready for you to do that yet. Let the trade come to you. I'm looking at all of these contras. And even on the TWM, look at the big wick. And on the RWM, look at the big wick. All right. Leverage products could leverage your losses. Leverage products could increase your losses. All right. So I like the idea, if you look in the software and you go look at the ETFs and look for the contra ETFs, especially Lisa, if you're new to the stock market, I invite you to go look at our non-leveraged contra ETFs. I don't have them here. I might have to make a watch list of non-leveraged contra ETFs. And then I'll show you the stocks that are in there. I might have to do that. But in the desktop on the ETFs, on the contra ETFs, we can look at non-leveraged contra ETFs. All right. So before I start to go look at your stocks, all right, I like the question or the idea about looking at contras. Hopefully I answered your questions in regards to that. I want to let you know for next Friday, we will not be doing the mobile app. Next Friday, I'm going to do something that we did like a week ago. How many of you were here for the stock analysis power hour when I did that live stream? Type a 1 in the room. How many of you were here for the stock analysis live stream, the power hour? Type a 1 in the room. If you were not, type a 2. If you were not, type a 2. Because for those people who are typing 2s, next Friday, we will be doing another stock analysis power hour. All right, so we're not going to be looking at a lot of what I normally look at when I do the mobile app. All right, Janice, you didn't watch it? OMG. I am so disappointed, Janice. I'm going to cry a little bit. I'm just letting you know I'm going to cry a little bit. All right, it is a time where all I do for the whole hour is look at your stocks. All right, we're not doing market timing. We're not doing news. We're just looking. Oh, you watched the rerun. All right, that's fine. We're going to just look at your stocks, but we're going to use the power of the VectorVest software. We're using the power of the VectorVest software to analyze your stocks to get a better understanding. So for those people who are brand new to the system, great way to get your stocks analyzed, just like we do here. Great way to get your stocks analyzed. For those of you who have been with us for a while, gives you a refresher just why you have the VectorVest software, why it's so important. Glenn, can you do a video on MU earnings similar to AVG when the time is right? I think between Ryan and I, there are stocks that are big enough in the market that we're probably going to be doing more videos on those stocks. So Bikramjet, yes, we probably would. Above questions about AAL, American Airlines. I'm not sure what you're asking. Apology accept. Yeah, I apologize. I did. All right. So with that, I just wanted, that's going to be next Friday. That's going to be next Friday. How do I want to do this? What am I doing? No, I don't want to do it that way. I want to build a watch list. Add to a watch list. No, I don't want to do it that. Oh, sigh. My watch list. Sigh. My watch list. And now I'm going to click the plus sign. We're going to create a watch list. All right. Now, I'll put AAL. I'm not worried about all the likes today, but I'm only going to probably do about 10 stocks. All right. Now I want your stocks. Now AVGO is splitting. I think that doesn't happen until July. Palantir, good to buy now. I would wait. I would totally wait. All right. Now I want your stocks. And now because now all the stocks that you told me about, AGX, comma CCJ. I'm big on uranium right now. CCJ, ERJ, Embraer, ERJ. See, remember when I asked you guys not to see, now I forgot what stocks you put up there. I knew that was going to happen. Sorry. App, GME, really? KMT, USO. We already looked at USO. Bolt. There was somebody who was spamming me stocks. I told you I would look at them, but I forgot what stocks they were. AAI, where it's going after the death cross. Oh, AAI? I'll put that up there. I don't have AAI. AI, where it's going after its death cross sideways. I don't have that stock, Frank. FTAI. That's 10 stocks. Again, there was somebody that was here that was spamming me. I told them I'd get to them, but I knew I was going to forget them. That's why I asked for them now. All right, there's 10 stocks. There's 10 stocks. Actually, I can scroll way back up. Who was it? Sorry, it had a purple name. See, folks, there it is. Crocs and S. This is why I ask for your stocks when I ask for your stocks. SKYX. SKYX. It was Prakash. All right. And the only reason why I went back to get him, because I told him not to spam it. I went and looked, Prakash. Now you know, going forward. Now, American Airlines is not AAI. I don't have AAI. I looked. I thought it was American Airlines. You don't want me to do American Airlines? I took it off. You said AGX, but then didn't make the cut. AGX is right there. It's in the list. AAL. AAL is American Airlines. Do you want... All right. New me. What stock? Lake? All right. No more. That's enough. Create the watch list. What's today's date? 6/21/24. Customer picks. All right. So now, now you'll understand when I say no to the stocks, when you give me the stocks early. This is the reason why. I want to make sure I try to get all your stocks all at one time. I said AAL. I'm in AAL. I got back into A. Did I not put AAL? Add stocks. AAL. Okay. It's American Airlines. All right, let's go take a look at these stocks real quick. I love you guys to death. You do. All right, let's go look at these stocks real quick. KMT, I love this stock. That's a beautiful looking equity curve over the last year. Love the earnings per share. Fundamentally, everything is good about KMT. Everything is good about KMT. But I'm watching it fall. I'm watching the 3 and the 8. Being defensive, you know something? I'm not giving up a whole lot of profit on that. I'm taking that. That's 3 days in a row. Or wait for the 3 and the 8. Next one, let's go to ARM. 1 year graph, earnings looks good. Safety is below 1. This is more of an aggressive play. Same scenario. Ooh, whatever I got right there. I got a bearish harami right there. I got a bearish harami. That's a sign I got followed through today. I wouldn't be afraid to take that off the table. All right, let's go to the next one. Crocs, the ugliest shoes in the world, but stock is moving up. Look at that dip in earnings, and now it retraced and is taking out that dip in earnings. That's a positive sign. Stock's price moving up, same scenario. Look at that. Yesterday's candle was a shooting star. Follow through today. Again, it's not like I want y'all to panic, but man, given the market's conditions, sideways move, more red in the color guard than anything, I wouldn't mind taking some of that off the table. FTAI, 3-month graph, 1 year graph. Wow, this looks just like KMT. Both of them look really, 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 really good. All right, put this on a 3-month graph. Am I panicking? No, the 3 and the 8 is still solid. The 3 and the 8 is still solid on this. Depends on what you want to do. And MACD is still strong. What would I tell you to do with that one? I'd have a stop in place. That's all. I'd have a stop in place. The stock looks good. Bottom left, top right. MACD is still strong. I got nothing bad I can say about it right now. Don't panic off of the 2 down days, but if you're nervous, take half off the table. Next one, AGX. Look at it on a 1-year graph first. Again, bottom left, top right, rising earnings. Good look. Let's go back to the fundamentals on that. Fundamentally sound. RV above 1, relative safety below 1. More of an aggressive pick, but in an uptrend, CI above 1. The stock is resilient. You can see that by the move of the stock, not, big pullbacks. It's resilient stock. Interesting. I'm watching this level of support, which actually will start fading the gap that's there as well. Man. And the 3 and the 8 is about to cross. Bingo. I wouldn't be afraid to take that off the table. Look at the 3 and the 8. Look at after all that nice upside, look at the 3 and the 8. All right. CCJ. Go look at the 1-year graph. A little choppy. Where's the CI? At 1.59, a little choppy. 3-month graph. Earnings are starting to fall, but there's a big initiative happening with nuclear energy, smaller nuclear generators, the whole 9 yard. The Senate just passed something about nuclear energy. Uranium, keep your eyes on uranium. But I've been looking at it for the last year or so, thinking that uranium should have taken off. I think it's the cleanest clean energy that's out there. King Ali says, Glenn, I'm new to the channel in VectorVest, and I need to know how to use the software. Any suggestions? Appreciate it. You know something? If you're new to this channel, I'm going to offer you an opportunity, King Ali. Go to www.vectorvest.com/YT. You can take a trial to the VectorVest software, whether it's on the mobile or in the desktop, for $9.95. Once you get there, right? And let's go say you're in the mobile app like we have right here, right? Go over to the left. You'll see under stock market training, we've got education and webcasts. King Ali, I think that's the best way to get you understanding how to use the software. All right, so it's right there, whether it's in the mobile app or the desktop. I'm a big fan of the mobile app. Is very inexpensive. If you want to get a better feel of how to use the VectorVest software and see how it fits you. But I like that we give the education. Look right to the left again, see education and webcasts. We're going to get you acclimated to how to use the VectorVest software. All right, next stock is AppLovin. Put that on a 1-year graph. It's pulling down from that high. It is pulling down from the high. The 3 and the 8 all crossed back here when the stock was, what was the stock price? Stock price was about close 82.50. I'd rather be out at 82.50 than still trading the stock at 77.15. That's why I said on the mobile app, without having the star search, I like looking at the 3 and the 8. Embraer, same kind of scenario. That's the time I would have been out of the stock. Coming off that level of the high, the 3 went below the 8. The price was $28.75. It's not that far away from $27.54. But nonetheless, I would rather you be out there than still holding the stock right up to there. American Airlines, good gravy. Let's go put this on a 1-year graph. I'm not feeling that. American is poopy wise. Fundamentally sound, a relative value above 1, relative safety below 1. The stock is moving down. RT is below 1. Comfort, I'm not. And it's great that it's undervalued. But this stock is not, oh, no. Okay. This stock is not doing anything I want it to do. Big gap down. I don't know if that was earnings or not, but big gap. I'm not feeling American Airlines at all. The 3 to 8 to 20, there's nothing I like about it. Union is killing AAL. Thank you, Prakash. All right. Thanks, Glenn. I'm out of ERJ now. There you go, San Fran. Again, my goal is not to make anybody scared. My job is to make you better informed. That's what it is. My job is to make you guys better informed. American Airlines, I don't know the story behind it, but Prakash said it's the union. I may have to do a story on that one as well because a lot of people are spending a lot of money to travel. You would think American Airlines would be a beneficiary of that, but it don't look that way. But you notice how the MACD just got positive? Interesting. I'd have to look into it. Skechers, put it on a 1-year graph real quick. Woo! Sket? Oh, that's SKY. That ain't Skechers. Ooh, I thought it was, I'm not feeling that stock. Negative earnings. It was positive starting a year ago. It was positive a year ago, but now look at that. Ooh. All I sit back and go, UGLY, you ain't got no alibi. That's ugly. That's ugly. That's not pretty. I don't know what you want about the stock. I don't know. Unless there's news about it. It was SKX. My fault. It's SKX. It was my fault. Cancel. I can add to watch list. I can. No. Oh, never mind. I'll come back to it. SKX. This one I'm not feeling at all. Actually, SKX. Let me take that one off. And now let's go add SK. That's the way you do it. SKX. That's Skechers. All right, where were we in the list? Let's get to, we'll look at SKX first real quick. Moving up, again, I like Skechers. As a matter of fact, I got some Skechers on right now. 3-month graph. Let's go put this on a 1-year graph. 1 year looks, I like the earnings. I love the earnings. I'm watching the stock pull off from a high right here. I'm watching the 3 and the 8. Today, the 3 and the 8 may go negative. Just keep that in mind. MACD already went negative. All right, MACD already went negative. The 3 and the 8 might go negative. Just keep your eyes on that from that. GME, let's go look at GME. Why are we looking at GME? Huh? Can anybody tell me why we're looking at GME? Let's go look at GME. Roaring Kitty came out. Roaring Kitty did nothing for GME. Everybody was like, and he did absolutely nothing for GME because it's news. All right, we'll look at it. 1-year graph, this stock is like all over the place. All right, it's all over the place. It did get all the way up to, what's this point right here? It did get all the way up to close $48.75. That's not right. Oh, because it pulled back down. What was the high? 64.83. It did get up to 64.83, but look at that pullback. There's nothing that I like about the stock. Now, I understand the story that Walter says, Roaring Kitty made money and ran. Well, as far as GME is concerned, it's all news. It's all hype. It's a meme stock. And there might be people in the room that get pissed off at me that I call it a meme stock, but I call it what it is. I call it what it is. It is a meme stock. the stock, let's go put this on a 1-year graph. Fundamentally, nothing. I got none of my indicators above 1. But we all sort of kind of know that. It's not about the company being valued worth of anything, but it should be, right? It should be. Thank you, Janice. It should be. You know, if I'm going to trade in the company, I understand that retail investors say, we're just not going to let you step all over GME. But I don't think that the retail investor has the wherewithal to go up against all that money. Now, people are telling me there's a lot of illegal stuff going on, and if that's the case, then the people who are doing the illegal stuff behind GME need to be held accountable. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. But there's nothing fundamentally sound about owning this stock. Nothing. Let's go put this on a 3-month graph. Roaring Kitty talked. Everybody's like, yeah. And then since then, and Roaring Kitty, he got rid of some of those options. He made a lot of money. But I think a lot of people look at that and go, I can do that too. And the chances are you're not, just like Johnny Cash. Johnny, who is it? Who sang the song Chances Are? Chances are you're not. And I could probably do a poll that more people have lost money on GME and AMC than have made millions of dollars on GME and AMC. Just think about it. You know, you look at Roaring Kitty and go, man, he made a lot of money. I'm just going to hold so I could do the same thing. Yeah, that is this. Stop, Jazz. Stop, Jazz sitting behind his computer laughing right now. That's what you do. No, Jazz. Neither. How about that? I didn't for neither. So was that the last stock? No, Bolt is in here too. I don't know what, I'm not feeling this stock either. Put this on a 1-year graph. Yeah. There's one happy sign that the earnings are getting less negative. The earnings are getting less negative. That means they're trying to do the right thing. All right. So I don't know what, bio. This is a bio. All right. Probably news driven off of something, FDA approval or something like that. But man, it's up 1.5% today. There's nothing that I like about it. Nothing. I do see that MACD is up. That's interesting. All right. Here's all your stocks. How many likes do we get? After all of that, we still only have 59 likes. Wow. That's all right. If you like today's content, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button. All right. I love all of the comments. Again, we did take a little different turn today. We looked at what was going on in the market, but I did want to pay attention to some of the stocks that you're looking at, that you own, that you had questions on. All right. So just putting that out. Next Friday, PCE release. Oh, that's the Fed's favorite thing. Also on Friday, we have next Friday at noon, we have the stock analysis power hour, where I'm just going to look at your stocks. So it's going to be all about look at your stocks. Kevin said triple witching today. Ooh, okay. That could have a bad effect on stocks. I'm just looking at everything I see on the homepage, back and forth between a mixed market and a down market. Now the Dow is up. Now the Dow is up. The dollar's up too. But now the Dow is up. Everything else is down. All right. Thank you, Jazz. All right. Janice says, happy weekend, Glenn and crew. Hope you have fun. You know something? I'm not sure if I'm drilling this weekend or not. I got a little bit of bout of the pancreatitis going on, trying to stave that off because I got to go to New York. But I got a little bit of, probably going to do a liquid diet until we go to New York. I'm probably going to do a liquid diet until we go to New York because my pancreas is ramping up with that. YouTubers going on that GME, that can be the next Berkshire. What? All right. Well, we got 65. It's all right. We got 65 likes. You know me, I always try to have 100 likes before we leave. Today may not be the day, and that's fine. That's fine. And I always look at it this way. The people that I have here, the people that are supposed to be here, regardless. Drink kombucha. What is that? And where do I find it? What's kombucha? I don't even know what that is. San Fran, send me an email. GlennT@VectorVest.com. Glenn with 2 N's. GlennT@VectorVest. When is kombucha? Is it liquor? I don't even know what it is. Whatever it is, I need something to help me to calm my little pancreas down. All right, send me an email. Folks, have a great weekend. Enjoy the weekend. A lot of places, it's hot all over the place. Just make sure you stay cool as best you can. All right. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii, all you guys in Texas and in Florida with all of the rain that's going on, praying for you guys as well. Odabu. Bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until the next time, folks. See ya.
Click on end stream, Glenn.
I got to click it?
Yep.
Can they still see me?
Yep.
Hi, stream. We got to go. Bye. Okay.
Yeah, it's doing that weird thing again.